This is funny to you? Oh my God, your breath smells so fucking bad.
It's the Jack
and Cathy
show.
Shit show.
And there we go.
Yeah, how was
okay,
that?
that,
Like
I
that
think
one?
I think if yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. I look like I've been hit by a train.
Count us in.
Can
Let's
we
go.
s-
Count
can-
us in. Count us in.
Can we
Count us in.
stop?
Count us in.
1, 2, 3.
There we go. Can we stop what?
Can we stop
Being happy?
videotaping this? Can
No.
we just
No. Look
do
at me. I
audio?
look like douchey.
Because
No,
I
no,
really don't.
No. Majority
I
of people
cannot
want,
be
no.
required
No.
to clean
The
up
answer is
for
no.
this.
The
I
answer is
just,
no.
I just
No.
cannot
No.
stop
No.
saying no.
You know,
It'll
majority.
be the demise of our relationship if you keep
Whatever.
saying no all the time.
Okay.
No,
Yes,
I
we can't.
I really.
No.
So
Everyone watches video. Everyone
so-
watches. No.
we had a
No.
work day today
Jesus Christ.
where Jack was adding molding to the kitchen, and what else? What other projects did you do today?
Today I didn't do shit. I helped you with stuff.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And I have been tiling. So yesterday I tiled the fireplace hearth. You can kind of still see I have mastic still on my hands. But anyway, so it's a work day on the house because it's a Sunday when this is being recorded, and I'm working, and this is when we have to record the podcast. So this is it. This is what people get. I look like
That's why it's called the shit show.
dog shit.
Because we're shit showers.
Because I look like shit. I did not know that when
Oh,
we
you
named
look
it Shit
beautiful.
Show that it's because
It's because our
Cathy
life
would
is
show up
chaos.
looking like shit every single time.
It's not that you look like shit. It's like I said at the beginning of this episode. It's when you burp in my face. I thought I was going to... It's like a skin peel. What the fuck?
We ate some Trader Joe's Indian food tonight because the kitchen is a disaster because I'm tiling the
You
backsplash.
tiki masala to my face. It's gross. And then you're going to want to make out later, and I'm going to tolerate it just because I
Bring
think
it
there's
in.
going to be a
Bring it
not
in.
even.
Bring it
Nope.
in. Come on.
Nope.
Come on.
We're going to do it tonight without kissing.
And what's funny is that you ate the exact same thing, and you're thinking oh, good Lord.
I told you.
Good
It smells like we
Lord.
just both licked a donkey's ass. It's awful.
It was
That's
good
the-
going
It
down.
was really good. That's what
We
she
were
said.
going to make chili, but the kitchen is a disaster because there's tile all
Because
over
it's
the
the
place.
Jack and Cathy shit show.
And it is a shit show. So I feel like a shit show. And I still have mastic on my hands.
You know what you just did, right? You know what you
I
just did
moved
that I
my- I
complain
moved
about?
my-
Yeah, so I'm going to have to spend an
sorry.
hour fixing the fucking mic.
But I've got
You did a great
mastic.
job, by the way. Can we tell everyone what we've been doing? Because it was...
Yeah, I kind of
We
just
kind of
did,
chunked
but
off...
Go for it.
Well, we chunked off some big stuff because we've been super busy and tired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have 3 major things left. Major. The kitchen, which is really close.
The kitchen is super close and has been for quite some time. Super livable, super functioning.
Yep.
And we had a good size list of things to finish.
Yep.
So trim and toe kicks and backsplash and floating shelves and ventilation hood and, all these beautiful things. And those are pretty damn close to being finished.
We should
now,
be done
and
this
it's like
by
really
the end
exciting.
of this week. Yeah.
And let me just say, on the heels of reflecting on our projects and on the heels of our podcast last post, we have come a long way in how we project together, babe.
Yeah, you've gotten much, much better.
Gee, thanks.
Before we go there,
Thanks.
speaking of shit
I'm
show,
much better.
Speaking of shit show,
Mhm.
oh, open up the door then, Mama. Let's walk through
You
it.
open up the
You
door.
open
there,
it up,
babe,
brother.
babe.
before we go there,
Yeah.
how fucked up is our life? I mean, it's not that bad, right? I shouldn't say that.
What are you talking about?
That
It is a
all I
shit
did
show.
was
I don't think it's
heat
fucked
up for 8 minutes. I heated up 4 microwave ovens from Trader Joe's, and our microwave craps out, overheated.
We bought these appliances
a year ago.
a
year
year
ago.
and a couple of months ago. So
I know where
definitely
you're gonna
less
go.
than 2
Talk
months.
about well,
You are shaking. Are you cold or do you have to go potty? You are shaking.
Jesus Christ! I don't go potty. I piss.
Because you're mine.
No,
Yeah, we bought
you
these
said
appliances less than 2 years ago. And
we didn't even get them until last October. What are you talking about?
we bought them because we needed to design the kitchen around the appliances, but we
Yeah.
did not pick them up and have it, or
Yeah.
we did not have them delivered until we were
October.
ready for them. So it was
Right.
October, but the clock starts ticking when you purchase them, and that was June.
Well, but I mean, they weren't used. They were sitting.
No,
in a
they
box.
weren't used. So in less than a year, the microwave frickin' overheats.
Overheats.
Heating our tikka masala.
Tiki masala,
from Trader
some
Joe's.
Kana masala, whoever know, whatever bad breath shit we ate. But you said it best that we bought a house that had like a 1912 microwave in it, even though there weren't microwaves then.
Oh my gosh, our kitchen
and that
was
microwave still worked.
so damn ugly, and the microwave probably weighed 120 pounds and
Huge.
was the size of
a
a
tank.
love
was a
seat
living
sofa in the living room.
Huge.
And it was still
worked.
going strong.
Right.
And meanwhile, you buy this new, looks pretty good.
Fucking.
It wasn't super expensive, but it should
still,
last.
more than a year after 8 tiki
That's just
masalas.
bullshit. So it overheated.
Total
Supposedly, you just
suck.
plugged it back in, though, right?
Well, it cooled off upstairs, and I just plugged it in. It went on right away. So
Gosh.
what in
So
the
dumb.
what?
Yeah, so they just don't make appliances like they used to. Hey, I didn't tell you about this. I went to this.
By the way, you didn't say hi to me like we always do on our podcast with hey.
Hey, babe. So I went to a pop-up on Friday with Jenny and Nan, and it was our friend Joelle's pop-up. She buys these really elegant, beautiful home goods and little gift things, and she and this other woman opened up this little pop-up. She had one like last year. So it's not a
What's a pop-up?
It's not a steadfast brick and mortar store. They just have a shop for a couple of days. It
That's
just
a
pops
pop-up?
up and then it disappears.
Got it.
So it was a 2-day pop-up
Okay.
store, and it was in a tiny little home over in Bayview, and fantastic stuff. And in the kitchen, she had this, I don't know, this old enameled stove, and the enamel on it was almost like this tie-dye of peach and green and black and cream and
Was
tan.
it streaky like
It was
that?
crazy. It was like these little speckly, but not like super speckled. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. Almost like this.
And that was for
stringy-
sale?
No,
Oh.
it wasn't for sale. But this girl that owned the place, she had bought it in 2005 when she was like 22 years old, and gutted the kitchen. Couldn't afford a regularly priced stove. Went to an antique center, and this stove was there virtually untouched, unused ever, and it was in pristine condition. So you still have to
Why didn't you buy it?
light the gas flame. It wasn't for sale. I'm telling you, she bought it back in 2005 and put it in the house.
Oh.
But oh I'm just starting to listen to you, Cathy. Because I spaced out while you were talking.
Just keep going.
And now I'm just trying to piece
Just keep
together
going.
the things I
So
remember.
wait, where were you?
You know I'm right.
I don't know why. I truly was thinking you were going to tell me you ended up like putting a bit on it. That's what I was sitting here waiting for. Sorry.
No, you got ahead of yourself. No, it's
I
just a
did.
story that's in alignment with how long things last.
Ah.
These these. I mean, this
Yeah.
stove is probably from the 40s.
Yeah.
And it's going strong, and she lights she did say though that if she ever wanted to bake anything of quality, it's best not to use the oven.
Oh,
But the burners work great. She lights them with a
Yeah.
match, and it's a beautiful look, and it's adorable in the kitchen,
That's cool.
and definitely a show-stopping piece. And
How
then
come
we
you
have
didn't? Did you buy it?
then we have a then we have a frickin'
1 year old
microwave.
microwave. 1 year.
And I get it. It's only a few $100.
I don't get it.
But
Wait a
it's
minute.
really.
What do you mean you get it? That's
don't
No, I
know.
don't get it at all. What I do
Just
get
so
is
frustrating,
what I
these
do get is
poor
softcore
quality.
porn, or what I do get is stripper poles that you want in the kitchen. That I get. I don't get a microwave not working.
Just for the record, I never asked for stripper poles. in
You
the kitchen.
did too.
I mean, if there would have been room,
Look at the plans.
but not at the sacrifice of my pantry. So,
What else were we talking? Oh, so before we go into the deep end of the pool, which is about relationships,
we
Right.
have to
Well,
go
'cause-
deep again.
What-
I kind of like this surfacey.
who are you then?
I'm just kidding.
Well, you're the one that said we what did you say? I'm drawing a blank. Did you buy that oven?
You're such an ass.
You wanted to talk
You
about
know
how
you
we
do that all the time.
what's
I
that
could
flake
t-
out when I just
Yes.
when I just disappear.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
You disappear.
But I start thinking about other things and I'm processing it, and sometimes it's just taking too long. So I just
Do
start
you
thinking.
ever notice how often I speak to you and you say nothing? Nothing?
Like now? No, I don't notice it. I'm
Okay.
always paying
Can I
attention.
point
to
it out going forward?
Of course you can.
Can we have like a
You want to have
a code word
No, you can just point it out.
where I just sort of
no,
go,
see, this is why.
pineapple!
This is why I think I'm awesome, because you could go ahead and say it. Here we go.
And there it is.
So why I think I'm awesome is because if I do that to you, and I probably don't, you're just exaggerating. But if I do that to you, where I'm not paying attention to you,
Please,
I would
everybody write in
I would totally.
and support me.
I would totally accept if you're like right there. I've been talking to you, you didn't pay attention. I would laugh at myself. So that's why you're very lucky to have me, because I'm a flakehead.
The moral of the story is you
Moral
are
of the
very lucky
story.
to have me.
Well, it is true.
It is.
And
there it is.
Is my thing that I can't stand you say the most.
I do say
A
it.
lot. Only when you
So-
want to prove that you're right. And there it is.
Mr. Jack is truly self-aware when he's ready to be self-aware.
Oh, there it is.
And I have been known to, on
Be
occasion,
unawares.
go,
A
oh,
long time.
there it is.
And you also go a long time without
With-
being aware.
With
Admit it. Just
extreme
admit it. It's
judgment
going to take you
in
to
my
the end of the
voice.
podcast to admit that you go a long time without.
I
being
go a
aware.
long time what?
There we go. Okay. And
No, I missed
there.
it because I was
I said
speaking
you go a
and you
long
were
time
talking
being,
over me.
I think I'm more self-aware than you are, and it takes you a while to become self-aware.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
It takes me longer to admit.
Admit it. Maybe
Yeah.
that's a better way to
Yeah.
say it. All right, so I want to say something funny.
But I'm
because-
getting better, don't you think?
Sure. So I want. So I wanted to. No, you're great. You're the best. I've ever
You're
had.
the
Oh, stop it! You know I love you, and I don't have to say it in public in front of 7 people who watch the show. Thank you. But I wanted to talk for our friend Nancy in New Zealand, who we're seeing in a month. We're seeing in about a month, right?
Oh,
We're going to
a
New
little more than
a
2
little more.
months. 2
So,
months.
we're
Less
going-
than 2 months.
We are going to see the Foo
Nancers.
Fighters in New Zealand.
Oh my gosh, we're going
And
with
New- and
Nancy
see
and Mark.
Nancy. Yeah, so excited.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so can I please finish my story? Because Nancy does listen, and it's taking me 13 minutes to get to my
Hi,
point.
Nan.
Hello, Nancy. Oh, how do we... Remember we were listening to that podcast recently with the New Zealand or Australian people? And we were trying to do their accents, and we
Oh, my
couldn't do them at
goodness.
all.
Yes.
I can't remember what they were now, but you and I were practicing, and we
I
couldn't nail
forget
it.
what they were saying.
Like, door, or something like that. I can't remember what they were saying.
I don't know. I don't. It's not
Yeah.
deep.
I can't, right? Like, yeah. I don't know how they were saying you.
Yes, something
But
is
anyway,
drawn out there. Yeah,
It's just crazy.
and-
So Nancy had texted us last night.
What?
Nancy texted us last night.
She did.
And she saw something. I forget what it was. If you can look it up on your phone.
I don't have my phone here. You have to look it up.
I can't remember what she texted us.
She forwarded an Instagram post that made her chuckle and think of you, Mr. Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was... Oh, I lost it.
No, there's different pages. Scroll.
No, it's not popping up. See, I'm clicking on it. It's not working. See?
No, scroll, though.
No, this is the memory thing that I pulled up. Anyway,
Oh.
it was about a guy
you have to
being
say it now.
Well, can you find it? Because I can't. It's not loading. That's what I'm saying. If you go get your phone, I'll sit here and wait. Okay, I'll wait. Go get your phone. No, here, I'll find it. Okay, I'll find it. But anyway, can you keep talking so we don't? Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Read it.
So
Read it.
Nancy sent this. It looks like it was forwarded from How to Dad, which we might have to look up.
Okay.
And then it was reposted by stay.at.homies. And then Nancy forwarded it to us. So it says, the next time your wife gets angry, drape a towel over her shoulders, like a cape, and say, now you're super angry. Maybe she'll laugh. Maybe you'll die.
And she said it makes her think of me because
Yes.
that's totally what I would do to you.
She was like, Jack, don't do this.
We have
you do. I actually pointed that out to you this week.
We have
and
this
many
thing
times before where
say it. I know what you're gonna say.
Jack loves to push my buttons. He's like, oh, did I find a button? I'm not going to avoid it. I'm going to push it 10 times.
I go right
in a minute.
As we like to say, the two of us, not like publicly, we say to our. Remember, this is a memoir of our lives, so people can see what we're like.
Good Lord.
I like to go right up to the line, don't I? And you'll look at me like
Babe,
you're about
you cross
No,
the
I don't
line. You're like,
cross it.
what happens if my toes cross the line?
So can we? So anyway, Nancy sends this,
over here.
and it's almost like there was something telepathic going on with Nancy because she sends it. And if you recall what I did to you earlier in the day,
what you did to me, that was yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was yesterday day. We worked on the house all day, and then we had made a mess. So we were cleaning it, and you were cleaning the house.
I was cleaning.
I was cleaning the garage, right? So I was putting all the tools away.
I had the shop vac on because I was vacuuming. You didn't cover the stove when you worked above it, so I had to take it all apart, shop vac out the cooktop, and
so you're vacuuming the floor and all this other stuff.
Yep. So I couldn't hear anything. And you came and surprised me. You scared me.
I yelled. I went, ah! And I grabbed you.
And then you like touched my waist or something. And I turned around, and I think in that moment I could have murdered you.
I mean, like a cheetah. I moved out of the way so fast.
That was very smart of you because I had venom and disdain and anger. I was like, I don't love him.
Did you say that to yourself?
I think I could kill him right now.
This is recording, and my daughter listens. Oh.
So if you die, we'll all know.
You're gone.
Delete.
You hate being scared, I like hiding in the closets
by people. I hate being scared and surprised, and I hate being tickled. Oh. Those things make me violent.
And I do.
I don't just.
Neither of them.
I'm not just. Oh, knock it off. I'm like.
Oh, no, you've gotten really mad. But do I tickle you anymore?
Oh, you will again. You will. You will. We got in a fight over it. Remember early on where you were tickling and I was seriously physically defending myself and tickling back. You
were inconsolable. You were out of control emotionally.
Yeah.
You had a very difficult time rationalizing anything at that point. It was just tickling.
Get your hands off of me right now. Don't touch me.
I just thought it was funny because we didn't tell Nancy what it was, but just to fuck with you, I don't cross the line. Stop it. I go right up to the edge of it.
Oh no,
I never cross it.
Okay, so here's the visual.
Oh boy.
So there's a line, and Joe's.
Oh boy.
That's a blend of Jack's toes. It's called Joe's.
My Joe's.
It's just a more concise way to speak. Jack's toes are right up to the line, and he will get a sinister look comes over his face.
It's not true.
And he'll pick up a foot and he'll stare right at it. And then he'll take a toe and he'll go, I'm just going to touch over here on this side of the line and then come back. And then I'm going to do it again and come back.
Don't you remember I did that? Don't you remember I did that to Nancy? Because I used to tap you on the nose and go boop when we were one of the first fights we ever had. And we had a podcast about it, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was one of our first
we
fights.
We recollected that moment, and I was like, you fucking booped me on the nose.
So we're
That
having a
did
massive
not
fight over the
boop my
shittiest
nose.
pizza in Milwaukee. And all of a sudden, I could see she was just so crabby. And I reached for it with my finger, and I just tapped her nose and went, boop. And you, Lord livid. And the worst part about it is
you laughed then.
I knew you would be. And
I
it made
get
me-
livid, and it doesn't make you go, oh, shit, I'm so sorry. It makes you go, more?
And so Nancy goes, if you ever did that to me, and she's telling me, right? Because we saw her at Christine's daughter's wedding thing or whatever that was. And Nancy's going, and she's right in my crotch. She's nose to nose with me, pointing her finger. I'm going, if you ever did that to me, I would, so help me God, I would punch you. And so I
and people witness that moment. They're like, were you and Nancy fighting?
So I take my finger. She's talking as fast as lightning. Go boop, right as she's telling me she'd hit me, and then I get up and run I run as if it was what's it? We're doing the chairs thing. We're trying to sit down. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot the name of it.
Musical chairs.
So I get up and just sprint around the table, and she's got her fists out. That's the line.
Babe, and I
It's
believe
funny.
I said this to you at the time, but people will not have the same tolerance for you as I will. So
Yeah, but
do
I
not
knew Nancy.
other people.
No, I can read people really well. I knew Nancy would kind of take it. I'm not going to poke the bear
Nancy,
again.
I won't let him boop your nose again.
You
I
let
swear
me
to
get
God.
away with a ton of shit.
I will run after him and take him out at the knees. I will.
You do let me get away with a ton of shit.
I do.
You do.
That's one of the many
Even this
myriad
morning,
of reasons.
even this morning when we were trying to get ready to because you were feeling anxious about all the work we had to get done.
Oh, you're fucking with me. You're like, she is anxious. She's got work calls. She's got to go make a call. I got to tell her something. So, but I'm
So
also.
I would do little things like, hey, babe, real quick, babe. You're like, yeah. Am I handsome?
Oh, my God.
And then you're like, I got to go. Like, babe. No, seriously. Babe.
Oh.
I don't know why
you know
it's
what?
so, but you have to appreciate something.
I love you for all of it too. That's the dialectic.
Do you
Jack
understand?
Honar.
Do you understand something, Kathleen Ann? That I do this with quite a few people.
Yes, I've noticed.
It's just very.
Let's interview your kids.
It's
Kids call in
they-
right now.
I do it to them all the time. It's very funny with you, though. I don't know why it's so funny with you. It just kills me because you get so mad, and yet I'm waiting for that's it. I fucking had it. Throw something, but you don't. Like all of a sudden you'll start. I don't know. I think you just think I'm adorable.
There are moments that I do not think you're all that adorable. I still love you. Get away from my nose.
Air is
I
free.
still love you, and you sometimes are not. You're super annoying. Yeah.
I'm not super annoying. I'm adorable.
You're not?
No.
You're adorable.
Adorable. I went out with my boyfriend Steve.
Oh yeah, that can be an update
Yeah.
for your dating history. Mm-hmm.
So that was awkward, but I want to tell you something I didn't tell you yesterday. It was really funny. So
Uh-oh.
the whole time I'm thinking, well, I want to look cool when I go over to his place, right? And the best part about all this is that he never listens to us, neither does Sarah, but if they do, they're going to die. The best part about it is I forgot everything. Like,
Hopefully he won't be creeped out by it once he
no,
hears about
it's
your
okay
love
if
affair.
it is. It's all right.
that you're having
He gets creeped out.
all by yourself.
Well, I don't have a lot of friends here, right? I don't have a lot of friends who certainly don't have any friends who play music.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if anyone wants to be my friend and play music, come see me. So, I mean, he's younger than us considerably, 10 years. He's a decade, if not more, I think. But anyway, we had talked about bringing our original songs together and then co-writing stuff, and he would play on some of my stuff. I forgot to do all of that, which is not like me, right? Normally, I'm uber prepared for everything.
Wait, you forgot to bring stuff?
All new stuff that I've written. He said, if you've written some new stuff, let's collaborate together and do some things together. And I just completely shit the bed on all of it. So I wasn't prepared is my point. And so what's funny to me in all this is it truly felt like, this is going to be so fucking embarrassing. We're 30 minutes in. We haven't talked about anything yet, but that's okay, right? Right.
That is okay. Because you know what? It's our podcast, so we can talk about
this is
my
us.
toenails if we want.
I'm appreciating how we are really just a shit show sometimes, right? Like we're just, do you think that? We're
Absolutely.
And we also just dive into stuff like we don't care. Who cares? So we're working really late. I was in the garage cutting a shit ton of wood. There's sawdust all over the place. Cathy's in the kitchen. Was doing her stuff, and so I had to get going because I got to meet this guy, and it's 10 to 6, and I haven't taken a shower, and we're starving, right? We hadn't eaten all day.
Oh yeah, we had a salad.
Yeah,
but
a little bit. So, but we're basically starving, right? So we order from this cool place called Cops. If they want to advertise on this show, they can. We should ask them. They're local.
I don't think they do.
We should
any
do that kind of
advertising.
stuff. We should do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So anyway. That's the next thing. So we order from Cops chicken sandwiches. I go take a shower, run to Cops, get it. You're cleaning it up, drop the sandwich off, get my guitar in the car, and go bolt. Mm-hmm. And I barely get to his house with 2 minutes to spare. Okay, so I'm cruising down to 43. Anyway, I'm eating, and you know how I eat.
You weren't in my car, were you?
Yeah, I was in your car.
Oh shit!
Don't say that. What does that mean?
You are a messy eater.
So what do you think happened to my shirt?
Vacuum. Oh, you got it covered in.
I got tomatoes
something.
dropping on my shirt.
Oh,
so I get to a light, and it just happens to be a really bright light because I was in Bayview, and I took 43 to 794 to whatever the first exit is, not the one where we go, the next one south of whatever. And it's super bright out, and I happen to just look down for a second, and I see tomatoes on my shirt. So,
oh my gosh.
So is the volume off? I'll turn it off. So I see tomatoes on my shirt, and then I cruise up to his house, but I go around the block, and you happen to have napkins in your glove compartment. So I'm looking in the napkin, and I'm wiping my shirt, and then of course now I button this coat that I have. He's like, take off your coat when I get to his house. He's in sweatpants and a sweatshirt. He's got sheets of paper laid out of songs.
He clearly is not as
anxious about the date. No. Clearly not. This isn't the one for him.
You were not the one.
This is going to be my first last date. So anyway, the music was good. We had a lot of fun, and him and his wife are going to Africa and Brussels and a few other places starting next week. So
in France, you said?
In France, I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
For the entire month of December.
The south part of France. Yeah. So not going to see him anyway until January, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, for anyone that cares, that's the update on my date.
That's awesome.
So let's dive into some stuff.
You have a date tomorrow night too.
Yeah. Some people on networking thing for work. Yeah. Work stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
From the Bourbon Club. We'll see how that goes. He doesn't play music.
I'll be studying.
Yeah. I'm excited for you. Can we get to that later? Your stuff?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's have you talk about
what?
You said that we've gotten along better because let's go. You always like going to the deep end of the pool. And if you want to stay shallow, we can talk about all the shit that's going on in our lives and stay shallow. Thanksgiving's coming up, so we hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving. Because today's Monday, the week of Thanksgiving. Sunday we're recording it, but you'll hear it on Monday if you listen on Monday. You often like to go talk about where we're growing and changing. If you don't want to do that, I'm more than happy to talk about.
Well, that was one of the segues I was going to have in talking about our house projects and stuff, and talking about how it's jumping off of our conversation last week, in that these house projects were doing much, much better together. And it truly was really challenging
What do
early
you
on.
what do you think the big issue was? I have two of them.
Well, I don't think that. That's a good question. What were the issues?
Can I frame it for you and then you dive in? Does that help?
Yeah.
So I'm going to frame it a my issue and my belief of your issue. How's that? Like something that I feel I experienced from you and something that I own.
Yeah.
Is that a fair way to do it?
Absolutely.
I think that's a nice way to do it. No?
Absolutely.
Is that bad?
I said absolutely.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's start with you first.
Yeah.
And then I'll go into me.
Okay.
I don't think you're used to working with someone who knows a lot like I do. And as a result, this is all tied to number two. This is tied to number two. You often don't like hearing what to do. So even just holding a ladder a certain way, you're like, fucking don't tell me how to hold a ladder. And I've done it a certain way where I just want to maintain safety. So that's number one. Like, I don't think you like hearing it.
Okay.
And number two, which is what I'm going to own, I found this past week that I was much more patient and saying she can do this stuff. So take it off my plate and trust her skills. And if she has problems with stuff, she'll come and see me. Right.
Yes.
And
as I did, I conferred
and just kind of
with
leave you alone and trust that you can do it as opposed to hovering over you.
Yes. That is so helpful.
But
Yeah.
wasn't that a good,
It was. I was. I think you're right on both those points.
Okay.
I think, when you come together in your 50s, like we did, and we've only been together 2.5 years, and I'm sure some of you are saying, and you think you have a podcast.
Yeah,
but,
right. Right.
But all I have is my own personal history to date. I don't have the experiences, all of the experiences that you and I are sharing in together. And one of those, as you said, is somebody else that has an opinion on what I'm doing in the house. So in my past relationship, I sort of decided what was going to be done, and I picked out wall colors, or I did this texture, or I decided on a treatment, or I'd buy curtains, or I decorated a room, or I bought a piece of furniture, or I landscaped, or I bought flowers, or just think of all the things. I built my own fire pit in the last house, laid the stone edging and everything. And so now I'm with a partner who is like, wait, what stone are you picking? Wait, what plant is that?
And he's likely worked with all the stone and knows which one's better.
No doubt. You know a lot. And I think in the beginning, I found that sort of creatively a little bit stifling, because now somebody's asking me to justify my choices. And sometimes in design and those things are just instinctive. You're like, I just can see it in my head. I don't know what else to say to you. I just can see it, right? And it's a vision. And how do you explain that and justify it? So I think I would struggle with giving up some of that freedom with it. And then sometimes you and I don't agree on what should be done, right? So it's very hard to share that control, because it is also an arena that I love. And I'm used to just having carte blanche.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I want to collaborate because you are my partner, and I respect that this is your home, your space, your money too. And you do have a great artistic eye, and you certainly know how to do a lot of shit, more than I do in terms of building, constructing, and you have a lot of know-how. And so yeah, that I would say is sort of in my mind when you bring up the things that I'm trying to improve on, get better on, and have come a long way on. That's
so you know what switched it for me? It wasn't this weekend where it flipped the switch. it was when we tore apart the doorway to the basement because we used to have a door there and we decided to get rid of it because it was just too cumbersome, right?
Yeah, the door frame.
Yep. So we instead just made a box opening, so you don't have the threshold, you don't have the framing around it, you don't have the door
Right,
jam, you don't
it's
have any
just
of
a
it.
drywall.
Right, just drywall.
Drywall door
And
opening.
I hate two things when it comes to construction. Only two.
Drywalling and painting.
The only things I hate. I can put up the drywall. I'm good. I cannot stand mudding and taping. It's not just an art and a skill. It requires immense patience and a long time.
Yeah.
And not that you can't do these things quickly. Plaster
I'm
takes
slow.
time. Yeah, I
I'm
know,
a
but
slow
paint
person.
takes time to dry. Plaster takes time to dry. You put a layer on, you sand it, you do it again. With framing, for example, a room, you cut the 2x4, put it together, you're done,
Yeah,
right?
it's done. It's not
And
as messy.
And even with tiling, if you're tiling something, you can see it start to come together. The plastering and painting, fuck my life, I hate it. And so anyway, you volunteered, but you weren't quite sure how to install some of the. We were taking apart the door and stuff, and you were asking me how to install the plaster itself, the sheetrock, right? We were going through that. So you said, remember we were going through, like, what's the best way to do it? And then there was one time when it wasn't level, and I said, well, let's take it apart. I'll show you. And we fixed all that. And I said, as long as you're going to do this, I don't care. And I kind of went, cool, I don't have to do this work. And that's when it flipped for me, because I have to admit, in my gut, I went, all right, I just hope it turns out nice, right? Because that's going to suck.
Because I hadn't done it before.
Never.
That was new.
You never did it.
No.
You could be.
I've patched holes. I've patched cracks. I've textured walls with joint
Speaking of holes and cracks.
Ba-dum-bum.
Try the veal. So you, for someone who's never done it before, you could get a career doing it. You're that good.
That sounds like hell.
No, but I mean, you're that good.
Your point is that you were very happy with the results, and so you're saying that gave you confidence.
Yes, it gave me confidence
skills.
Because there are two things that happened during that time. So here's the thing that I want everyone to hear, okay? Because everyone could say, "Oh, you've only been 2 games, you guys are still in love." Nah. It's been 2.5 years. At some point, you would think that something's going to wear out, right? The butterflies or whatever. We still hold hands all this time. We still kiss like crazy. We get in fights because we're human beings. We don't see eye to eye on some stuff, but we want this to work. And so I want everyone to hear was that this house has been a nightmare for me because I'm doing all the work. And so anytime there's something to be done, you even said it today. I know there's work that we have to do, really you, right? For you to take over a project and for me to go, okay, she can do this work. Have confidence in her, right? So when you did that plastering, I truly went, holy shit, this is perfect. I mean, and you know how I am with stuff. I'm mad at my own work.
Yes.
And then you laid down the tile for the hearth, but we had it's too long to get into. I feel like we're taking so much time telling detail, but we wanted to get rid of tile that was in front of the hearth, which is really old and kind of falling apart.
Yeah.
And when we pulled
there
it
were
up,
two layers. There was like big 12 by 12s. We pulled those up, and then these other beat up, ugly tiles were underneath it. So it was 2 layers of tile.
But when we brought up those tiles, it was sitting in a 6-inch bed of concrete.
At least, yeah.
6 fucking poured inches of concrete. So they must have poured it when they poured the fireplace foundation. So we were trying to chip away at that until we realized how big it was. So now, if you can imagine, where we have to put new tile on is a surface that has massive holes, 4 inches deep in some places, 2 in others, totally unlevel, right? And so we talked about what has to get done. Well, we have to backfill it and put a cement board in it or cement in it, right? We had to patch it and make it level. And it was interesting because here's where I thought was really cool. I didn't want to do that either because I was still working on that fucking vent that you wanted me to build, which it took forever, but it works.
Yes.
So that's done. But I want you to embrace what was going through my head. That's what I'm trying to get you to hear. I don't give a shit about anyone else listening to it. It's just us.
I'm tracking.
So then when you were asking me, like, well, how do I know it's level? I said, well, let me get you a big, long 2x4 you can use as a screen to go across the front that'll cover the whole thing. And it felt cool because you went, oh, great. And you asked a couple questions. I said, try it like this. And then instead of my habit with you has been I'm going to hover over and watch you do it. Right? That's my habit.
Mm-hmm.
And you view that as controlling. I view that as being a teacher, like making sure you're okay and right. You know what I'm getting at? But I realize I can't keep getting you to see it from my point of view. I've got to show you what to do, walk away. You'll come and ask me if there's questions. You'll ask me. And then just trust that you have the same goal as me. And that's to get that thing flat so it can hold a tile.
Yes.
And that's when I went, okay, just show her what she needs to do. Say, if you have any questions, just come and see me and walk away. And admittedly, babe, it was hard when I went to the garage and not want to. I thought I would do something funny, like creep up on the deck and put my head over the window and kind of just look in as you were doing, then sneak back away, right? Like sneak my eyes over. And I know this may sound wrong. I'm really, really proud of the work you did and really, really impressed. And it made me feel so much more comfortable to now not wear stuff, right? Responsibility in the house.
Thank you. I'm very glad about that.
And we came a long way that way.
We've come a long way that way. And
because this relationship is important. That's my point.
A to the men. Yeah.
A to the men.
Absolutely.
A to the women.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, boop.
Okay.
There.
But no, you're really illustrating how those were big moments for us. And I think back to some other projects that really just created a lot of tension. So I feel like we're finding our way, and probably the overall message in that is that when you're both showing up to be better, and sometimes you're not great about it in the moment. I know I'm not always great about it in the moment. But ultimately, I do believe that we're both trying to show up and be better. That we actually find a day where we are better. And how great is that?
What is my mantra all the time? The other mantra.
Patience.
Well, the other one.
Oh, what's the other one?
There's one common denominator in my life. It's me. And if I want things to be different between you and me, we both took a step toward each other.
We did.
Because I'm going to go with the scree thing, the hearth. I had to step away and let you do it, and you had to ask me questions because you wanted to make sure you knew you were doing it right. How many times did you say to me, can you come check this? Does this look okay? Right? Which is, you weren't necessarily just doing it for me, but you felt comfortable to say it.
It was a combination. I wanted you to see it. Now let's be clear. The project I was working on has a dry time, and once it's dry, you're fucked.
Yeah, I get it.
So I really wanted your eyeballs because you do have a good eye, and if I was doing something not right, you would. I want to know.
Well, like even when we were laying out the tiles, you were like, "How do I line this up?" Because something got offline. I'm like, "Well, just put it to the right." Right. We sat down and did it. Yeah. But my point is, I think we both decided we're going to be different in this circumstance. And so I said, walk away. She's got it. Leave her alone. You went, okay, I'm going to do some things here, but when I'm confused, I'm going to ask for help. Yeah. So that we're not just going down a path of butting. Because then had you not asked for help and something went wrong, guess what I'm going to do? Watch you like a hawk now because I got to fix something, for example.
Which would drive me nuts. So
the point is, we're the only common denominator in any relationships we have. And if we want things to be different, we either get out of them, right? Bad bosses, bad partners, whatever it is. There are some times when you have to leave those things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
We both have experienced that in our lives.
Definitely.
Obviously, clearly prior to meeting one another. And then there's times when you can say, hey, what do I own here? Yeah. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Or no?
Definitely. Okay. Yeah.
Was this a good podcast for you?
It felt really wonderful.
Can we do a question thing?
It was good. Yeah.
Thanks for doing this. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Yeah. We're excited. We're going to be
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving 2023.
My baby who doesn't listen to this podcast ever is going to be in town with his girlfriend, which I'm really excited about. Aren't you excited about that or not really?
I am.
Yeah.
Hey, any moment the kids pass through a room,
hang with
I'm
us for anything, right? Yeah, they stayed with us for a half a second.
And Mac is coming in town. My daughter's coming in town just for 5 days, but fantastic. So excited. So
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And then we'll
Definitely.
be back next week. One quick announcement. We are starting to partner with more potential guests. So Cathy has gone to a doctor named Luann. I have to write her, by the way, tomorrow, so I'll take care of that.
Yep.
Who will be a guest on our show. She specializes in hormone therapy. Is that
Yes,
right?
that is one avenue of what she does, and I've been doing the hormone replacement stuff, which I think we talked about.
We did. We had a whole podcast
'cause I'm
dedicated to it, but
sleeping
she's
like a baby.
oh, it's changed your life. I really
Yes.
feel that way. She's going to be on the show. We're looking to have a few other guests on the show, so we are contemplating maybe doing more podcasts during the week if we can pull it off. So we're going to continue to do our Sunday night recording, Monday night production, right? And then we may do another one as we start to have guests, because we both talked that we think it's good to still do our
I
conversation.
love guests. Yeah, that just
So
sounds like a beautiful.
We've got 7
experience.
guests that we met through some online resources, and a few more. One is a couple that helps people learn how to cook, and it's a great way for couples to engage differently. So I think, what's his name? Chef? Something?
We
Anyway.
are growing and expanding and learning, and we plan on sharing with all 4 of you as we do.
All 4 of our listeners. Thank you, Mom
Yes,
and
and
Aaron.
we aspire for 6.
Right.
Okay.
And thank you,
All right,
Alex.
what do
Okay,
you-
so here's
what
the
do you
thing.
have?
So I, we always ask a question of each other at the end of the podcast, and we've used different sources. And one of the things I posted on our Instagram account at Jack and Cathy Shit Show is from this site called ANKUR Ankurwarikoo, ANKURWARIKOO. And it said 7 questions to ask your partner today. So I thought we would do this.
Okay.
Okay. And we don't have to do all 7. You just
Okay.
do 1 or 2.
Let's see. Let them rip.
What is the happiest memory you have of us?
Oh, wow. The happiest memory. I would say there's maybe the recent memory is what's popping through. When we were hiking the waterfalls in Switzerland, I was like, this is epic. We had never traveled overseas together. So that was epic. But then where we were in nature was just take your breath away, gorgeous. And I was with you, and I was like, it doesn't fucking get better than this. This is awesome. And we were hiking. So that
Are you crying?
was the first. No.
What? Are you really crying, baby? Oh.
Well, you know how it is when I talk about emotional stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah.
get glossy.
Okay.
So that maybe that was because it's recent, but I would have trouble narrowing it down. We've had so many amazing moments.
I can't answer it. I really can't, because I can think back to when you picked me up. Like, I'm trying to think of times where we were just laughing our ass off. When you picked me up at the train station, we listened to Greta Van Fleet.
And I had the windows rolled down
And we
the
were
music
shaking our
cranked.
head.
It was Greta Van
And
Fleet.
there are so many things that we've done that have been a blast.
Yeah.
And just an absolute blast. Skiing with the kids a couple of years ago. Our trip with Aaron and Ron.
Yeah.
There are so many things we've done that I feel like I'm leaving things out. Even just hanging out with my mom and going to Laura's place. And it's so crazy to say that there's a happiest. I can't do that. I will tell you, when you were talking, I went, all right, there's something immediate. What strikes you? One of my happiest memories in Europe was actually our last dinner, because we were having a great dinner. The bartender or the waiter was a little irreverent, which was kind of fun.
Yeah.
We were in a neighborhoody part of Paris, so we weren't kind of in the main strip of things.
Which arrondissement was that?
It was near the Eiffel Tower, so I don't know which one that is. 10th, maybe? I can't remember.
Okay.
So I just remember then watching the rugby match, the Kiwis, the All Blacks versus
and we were
South
texting
Africa.
Nancy.
Yeah, I thought that was
You
really
were
fun.
texting
Well, we
Nancy.
had a ball doing that. So
We
that's that
did.
question.
We
Okay.
did. Okay.
If I were to lose my memory, what would be the first thing you would try to remind me of?
I don't know. Maybe our first date, where we
Okay.
talked for 6.5 hours, and
Okay.
it was just really the most amazing connection, and
Okay.
how easy it was.
Okay.
Maybe that.
Okay.
How about you?
I would play the song that I wrote for you.
Oh,
You know which one I'm talking about?
which one?
Which-
You've written me a lot of songs.
You know which one. Come on, don't you?
Oh, look at that.
Look at
You
that.
just happen to have a guitar right here. A very out of tune guitar. What is going on with that? Babe, it
It's
doesn't
way
sound-
out of tune. Isn't that great?
It's so
Never
bad.
one lesson. Sometimes it ain't so easy to understand, like holding on to water. That's what I would play for you. I would hope you would jog your
awesome.
memory. That'd be great if you were like, that sucks.
Was that?
Ready? Why do you think do you want to keep doing this, or do you want to call it?
No, let's do it.
Why do you think I fell in love with you?
Probably for a myriad of reasons, but if I
Boobies.
was going to sum them up,
Boobies.
my left boobie. No.
You're so mean to your
Not the right one. I would say if I would sum it up, I feel like the answer would be almost the same for both of us, that it was just so easy.
Bingo.
I'm not saying our entire relationship has been with, and for anybody who's listened to this podcast more than this moment, will recognize that we've talked about how there have been bumps in the road, and there will continue to be bumps in the road. But overall, still, I can say this is such an easy relationship. It's easy to be around each other.
Bingo.
Okay.
100%. What is one insecurity or fear you have about this relationship?
I think I'm pretty much over it. I had a fear that you would suddenly leave. And yeah.
I had a fear you'd do the same.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I had a fear that an old guy would come back, something that was unresolved. Yeah. I truly don't have anything.
My fear was you would get too frustrated with me and just be like, yeah, I'm out.
But that's
or
still,
something.
that should never leave your mind. Okay. What do you see about us in the future?
Well, I see us getting hitched down the road. That. And
we have to talk about that.
I see
Paris.
more adventures. Yep. I see us living somewhere else.
Same. It doesn't necessarily have to be, it could just be Chicago, by the way, but
yeah. And it could be a year here and 2 years there.
I agree.
And go live here for 3 months and then here. And so just living
Adventures.
somewhere else.
I agree.
Yeah. I
agree
mean,
with
you've
you.
already done it. You moved to Milwaukee for fuck's sake,
you owe me now, Mama.
This is true.
If you could change one thing in this relationship, what would that be?
I would probably love it if we were both independently wealthy and retired, and then all we did was play. Because damn, we play really
my God,
well
we'd have
together.
a ball.
Yeah,
that I like that a lot. I'm not trying to just glean or glom onto everything you're doing. I like that answer. If there's one thing, because I like our relationship, even when it's not great. I really like it. I like this.
I do
I
too.
like I tell you all the time, I like my
it
life.
I have even said I like it when we fight, because
Yeah.
I'm learning to argue and then resolve and to grow stronger and to keep growing. So
Totally agree. Well, that was the last question.
All right.
So why don't you take us out and we'll call it peace.
Peace. You just listened to another episode of the Jack and Cathy Shit Show. Massive thanks to Jack for the recording magic. You're just thanking yourself there, are you?
Totally.
Rightly so. Connect with us on Instagram at Jack and Cathy Shit Show for more insight into our shit show of a life. This episode is proudly brought to you by
Point
Productions. Until next time.
Peace.